Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge. All right, everybody, welcome to another recommendations video. Now, this one was a request that was put in my video request form, and at first I kind of had skipped over this one because I have made spanking recs before, but it has been a while, and I do understand when someone asks where they're like, it's hard to find one that like just has spanking, because I feel like spanking isn't always listed. I mean, it's barely listed as a trigger warning anymore, but I do remember a day when some impact play or spanking really felt like just the craziest thing ever. So that being said, I am also putting this under my taboo videos because it is one of the lighter ones for sure. I would generally put this more under like a kinky thing, but it's been a long time since I felt like I had a real good pull to a taboo rec video idea. I feel like the ones that I am waiting around to do, I don't have enough recommendations for them anymore. But spanking is something that I always track. I track it in my spreadsheets. And so when someone asks for some recommendations that have it, I was able to go in and find a stack to go through. So I reached back further for some of these. Some of them are more recent ones, but we're going to go through these. Some of these I'll have more to say about than others, because again, just by saying some of them are older, I don't remember every aspect as much. But if I wrote spanking down on my spreadsheet, it's going to be in the book somewhere. So just note that. So there was no one specific who, like the person who requested this kept it anonymous, but I remember their message was real cute of like, they just wanted some good old fashioned spanking and it was hard to find recommendations for it. So I'm here to deliver, and let's go through these because since I had so many to choose from, it was fun. And of course I will link other videos I've done that have this. And if you are looking for a specific kink or oddly specific thing, I have different playlists for those. Like I said, I haven't made a ton recently, but a lot of those recs are still there and they're still good. And so you can have a fun time going through those lists and finding some books for it for sure. So let's go ahead and get into it. And let's start off with one of my top books of 2024, which was Sovereign by Rhea Morris Edwards. Now, this is a part of a dark BDSM cowboy romance series. This isn't just dark for the BDSM either. This is a heavy type of series. There's now currently 3 books out in the series, and they all kind of have spanking in some variation. But in this one, it's an actual kind of like kink between the two of them. Specifically, this is something that Gerard, it is a big kink of his. He likes to do maintenance spankings and things like that. And not to like fully get into the whole idea of that, but they're in some dynamic relationships where they do them all the time. They have this thing called like a maintenance like check-in where you don't let things build up. And even if the couple, let's say they haven't had a lot of time to play, or there haven't been instances where they've been able to get out what they need out of their relationship, there are these set times still where we make time. There's nothing more important than our relationship. And in this book, it's actually very sweet. Like, I'm not really going into the full plot of this one at all. Actually, I've talked about a lot. I'm going to talk about the spanking specifically. Sorry, I dived into that. I won't do that for each of them, but this one specifically, because I think it was really unique the way that she fit this more regimented kink relationship into a story overall that had a lot going on. And this is this is a very powerful story for me. Obviously, it's in my top books of last year, but in their home, he has a specific chair that is like the place where they do these, and it isn't a maintenance spanking, isn't a punishment. It is just a reminder of like, you know, it's showing attention to your sub. It is giving your chance at Dom to take care of you. If, like I said, if you haven't been able to be doing that daily or haven't had time to play, that's always something you can look forward to. It's prioritized, and there's just something really special about it. Now, if kink and BDSM is not something you are comfortable with or you haven't tried, well, number one, I don't really think this video will super be for you. I do have a few that aren't full BDSM ones, which I will point out, but in general, when I'm talking about spanking, I don't just mean a slap like here or there while we're doing it. Like I mean it like actual spankings as punishment or punishment or whatever, okay, when I'm making this list. Again, there's like one or two in here that are that. But so for this, in this book, though it is a dark one, I feel like the BDSM relationship is handled very well. And from the beginning, though this is still a dark romance, so there's a tiny bit of coercion to get her in the position of that. There's no coercion within the BDSM part of it. Like all of that still needs to be consensual and what she wants to give him. But he does kind of coerce her into being with him because of the situation of the story. But he doesn't force her into any like kinks. Like it's not that kind of dark. So I'll put that out there. Okay, then we have one that I would definitely call a little bit lighter, but still all of her books usually involve some type of BDSM. But this one's in a historical. So we have A Season for Treason by Golden Angel. And this is book 1 in the Deception and Discipline series. So as I said, Golden Angel puts BDSM in pretty much everything. She's a BDSM author, but she does have both like contemporary dark romance and historical romance that has it in it. She has not only this historical series, but she also has one that's called, let me find it back here. Boop, boop, boop. Here we go. She has the Domestic Discipline Quartet, the Bridal Discipline series, and the Deception and Discipline series, and the Bridgewater Brides. And those are literally sold as historical spanking romance. Okay, she literally calls it that because it is kind of the level of discipline that's in these is like spankings, and they're still really cute. This one still has a mystery plot going on. This deals with spies and espionage, and it's just really fun. But it does feel at parts like, you know, I wouldn't fully consider these like parodies to historical romance, but they definitely are pushing the boundaries. And Golden Angel is someone who likes to use a few creative sexual things that she'll bring in, even when it's in historical. And I just find them really fun. The books are easy to get through. They're good to read. She has audiobooks for a lot of them. Really great series. And I was lucky enough that when she was putting out the last book in the series, she did a fun push with them. And so I did get a signed copy of these, and I just love them. So this one's really fun. I should tell you a little bit about this. I'll read the back at least. So this one says, in a race against time, will this pair reach the altar or the traitor first? In the service of England's spymaster, well, his niece, but surely he'll appreciate the help. Miss Mary Wilson is on a mission to uncover a treasonous plot. Though her only clue leads to the debaucherous secret society of the Marquess of Hartford, a lifetime of being overlooked should ensure her access to all of the gossip her assignment will require. There's just one problem. Mary is due to find a husband this season, and her Aunt Elizabeth, the Viscountess Hood, is determined to see her niece shine. Focused on finding the perfect bride this season, the Marquess of Hartford, known to his friends as RECS, finds himself distracted by the quiet Miss Wilson as she continually turns up everywhere she shouldn't be. As RECS considers the misbehaving Miss Wilson, nice alliteration there, a curious thought occurs to him. Is it possible that she could be the kind of bride who would enjoy life by his side and the pursuits of his society of sin? So, there's that. Okay, then we have one where this one I feel like definitely fits in more of the mainstream. You may have even read it and know what I mean, but they're definitely, these two get pretty heated, and they have some pretty rough sessions together that definitely involve some impact play for sure. And we have Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. This one is a best friend's brother. They haven't gotten along really ever that she's been friends with his sister, but they're thrown together now in their workplace when he is on the way to becoming a doctor and she is going to be a lawyer, and she actually gets assigned for a while to work with a hospital. And so now they're put in each other's orbit even more, and things really do bubble up and boil over for the two of them. And boy, do they have some hot sessions together. Things get real spicy between Josh and Jules. And I mean, Anna Huang, in my opinion, her writing has only improved over time. And I think her characters as well. Of course, those things go hand in hand. But for a lot of people, this was one of their first like favorites by her. I still like Twisted Games the best in this series, but this one, I also wonder how I'd feel about it upon reread, because it's been a long time. Like, it's been a long time since I've gave it a go. So I don't know. Maybe I should try the audiobook of this again, but this will fit in the spanking anyway. Okay, then I want to do one that is a throwback book, though. I only read it for the first time last year. And this one is called Crossing the Lines by S.J. Hooks. So this is crazy to me because this is an older book. It came out in 2017. And it only has, it has less than 700 ratings on Goodreads. But this one is a billionaire, it's BDSM. This single mom is down on her luck and she ends up getting offered money to fuck this guy, and she isn't quite able to like go through with it at the time. But there's something about her that he really likes, and so he ends up offering her the position as like his like service submissive basically, and gives her and her son a safe place to live if she will be available to him once her kid is in bed at night, basically. So this one is fascinating. And again, it was recommended by a viewer quite a while ago. It also, people thought that this was, at the time, people recommended it to me for like free use, as a free use rec. It isn't quite that, because literally by the fact that she can only be available to him after a certain time of the day isn't quite the free use arrangement, but she's a single mom. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it, right? So let me read the little blurb for this one. This says, desperate times call for desperate measures. On her way home from yet another failed job interview, Abigail Winters, a young single mother on the verge of homelessness, accepts a proposition from a rich, handsome stranger. Soon, Abigail is leading two very different lives that have to be kept separate at all costs. One in which she's a loving mother to her son, and one in which she caters to the needs of the assertive and mysterious Mr. Thorne, both in and out of the bedroom. The relationship is meant to be strictly business, but as lines are crossed and secrets revealed, Abigail finds herself struggling not to fall head over heels in love with the reclusive Sir, thus putting their arrangement in jeopardy. So, it's a billionaire, be what I need you to be, but stay in your lane type of thing. And of course, that's only going to work for so long when the feelings start to get involved, right? Okay, then we have The AntiHero by Sarah Kate. Now, Sarah Kate's another author who puts BDSM in pretty much everything, and spankings are usually kind of the first on the list here. But since this whole series is completed now, I thought it would be a good time to recommend The AntiHero again, right? So this is book 1 in the Good Brothers series, and man, the series has just been so good. And once you fully know how the arc of this story will go, like, it just makes this one even more impactful to me, because this series, it is about some religious trauma and finding your way within religion as maybe not having still like rose-colored glasses like you used to, or not being forced to obey like you used to. Each brother in the family has a different relationship with God, has a different relationship with things. But the book starts off with, we have Adam Good, who is the oldest son of this minister. And so he is looking to take his father's place, or like be given a place within this congregation as a preacher there. He writes a lot of his father's sermons, actually. And then he discovers some things about his father that really change his opinion about him. And it puts him in a place where he just has believed so many like lies and gone along and ignored things. And now he's confronted with them and with the hypocrisy. And he's like, I don't want to be a part of that. And so he ends up teaming up with Sage, who actually runs a BDSM club. And they decide the best way to fully bring down his dad is to out him. And though just if he went out there, it would be his word against his, and he knows he could probably be shut down that way, him and Sage begin basically a like OnlyFans type of situation where they film sexy videos and post them, and it's pretty obvious that it's Adam. And so this is going to get around that this preacher's son is now, you know, gallivanting on a like sex website basically. And him and Sage are at first only staging this. And Adam really struggles because they're supposed to be kind of faking it for the camera. But he's feeling things, she's feeling things. And they're like, well, it'll be even more real if we just go all the way with it, you know? And there's something that he really is getting out of dominating her that makes him feel like he's a hypocrite, just like his dad. Because he's like, I want to hurt you. And she's like, but I want you to hurt me. It's not the same thing. And you're being honest about it. Like, there's a lot that has to get worked through in here. But anyway, so yeah, she wants him to degrade her, hurt her, violate her, and God help him, he wants to do it too. But it's hardly fake anymore. And before long, I don't recognize the good man that I used to be. So that's the anti-hero. That's all the feels inside. And this series, now completed, is a very powerful one. I really like it a lot. Okay, now we have Undeniably Forbidden by J. Salmon. I have heard it said, and I apologize for getting it wrong here. Now, this one is one that also could feel a little bit more normal. This one doesn't officially have some BDSM going on in it. But this one is a brother's best friend, age gap, single dad. So we have Dr. Owen Fritz, and we have our heroine in here. Let me find her name. It's been a hot minute. Estlin. Yeah, Estlin's her name. And she is back home after actually having been a nanny, and she actually has a one-night stand with him, and they don't know who each other are because it's been many years since they've seen each other. And now she's back, and they have this one-night stand, and it is super hot, and they just like are locked in on each other. And then her brother suggests that she be the nanny for Owen's son, since he needs a nanny for her, and she is like waiting for a job, like looking for an opportunity to do, I think art is what she loves to do. And he then of course is very much like, no, this can't be happening, like, no. And she's like, well, I need this opportunity, let me do this, I'll be good, like, your daughter likes me, like, let this happen. And he's like, well, there can't be anything between the two of us. And she goes about irritating him at every chance, and that may or may not lead to some sexy situations with some impact included. So there you go. Okay, then we have God of Pain, book 2 in the Legacy of the Gods. People are going to ask, can you read these out of order? That's up to you. You decide. I'm not going to tell you yes or no, but this is book 2 in the series. God of Malice is one of my favorites in the series, so you decide from there. But this one specifically, this hero, Creighton, really is into pain and in hurting others, and sexually anyway. And we have Annika Volkov, who their families are enemies, and she is kind of interested in him. But he is gorgeous, and she slowly is finding out things that he's into, and she wants to try them with him, and he's like, little purple. That's what he calls her, little purple. You don't know what game you're messing with. You don't know what I'm really like. Ooh, what I really want to do. And she's like, try me. And it does. It feels very intense. So she's like, you know what? Maybe I did bit off a bit more than I could chew. Maybe I'm not quite ready for this. And then, once he starts doing some of those things to her, he doesn't want to stop. And so now it's like, well, you messed around, and now you're going to find out what it's like to have someone interested in you who wants to do the things that I want to do to you. And he's a bit of a sociopath. Like, it's there. We know it. That's how things are. Accept it. Deal with it. There you go. Okay, then we have Find Me Along the Shore by Angel Anders. And this one is a bit more of a fling, and they like to get they end up getting a little bit kinky with each other. So let me just read the blurb for this one as well. Angel Anderson is an author who just started last year, and she's written some really fun books so far. I think she's still kind of underappreciated thus far. Like, this book only has 120 ratings. I think she's a real easy read, and they're pretty fun. The first one actually was a Forgive Me, Father, for I Have Sinned, which is a priest romance. And that one, honestly, is one of the, I know it sounds so weird, it's one of the nicest priest romances I've read, and it felt like the least forbidden of a lot that I've read, I've shared. You should check that one out too. But this one with the spanking in it goes like this. So she's just in town for the weekend. He's her brother's best friend. A burning attraction leads them to make a deal. One night only. I believe she gets snowed in or stuck in, I can't remember if it's a hurricane or a snowstorm or whatever, but Grayson appears to have it all. A retired hockey player who plays the dating field, and she is in Charleston, South Carolina for a bachelorette party. And so she's looking for a few nights of no strings fun. When a mystery woman shows up for a Carter cruise he's running, Grayson can't believe his luck. Only she turns out to be his best friend's little sister, who he hasn't seen in over a decade. As sparks fly and innocent touches turn in undeniable simmering heat, Grayson and Harper make a deal one night together before returning. But what happens when a major hurricane, it's a hurricane, here we go, and their insatiable need for each other combine forces, a whirlwind romance that neither is expecting or can deny. It was a hurricane. I was close. So there is that one. And then there is Brutal Obsession by S. Massery. Now, this whole series shows up in so many of my kink and taboo videos. There is pretty much any kink you can think of that's on the darker side, okay? Knife play, gun play, spit used, other bodily fluids. There is primal play, there is somnophilia, there is some bit of dubcon. There is so much in these books. Now, this specifically is the first book in the series, and this one has a really heavy start to it. This one actually has our hero. This one has blood play, knife play, dubious consent, consensual non-consent, primal play. This one has a whole bunch in it. But yeah, this one has him he hit a girl's car and actually ruined her career, her ballet career, and yet he blames her for it. It's a whole twisted thing. That's what S. Massery does. But let me read the blurb for it here. It says, I had a foolproof plan. Finish college playing the best sport on earth, hockey, get drafted by an NHL team, make my senator father at least a little proud of me. I was on track to do just that until Violet, Reese, and I collided, literally. Turns out my plan didn't account for a night in jail and the news articles that followed it. Everything fell apart after that. New school, new hockey team, and a resentment like I've never felt before, directed at the girl who set me off course. Lucky for me, she attends this new school of mine, and there are 1,000 ways to ruin her, right? So this is a dark romance. It's not supposed to make sense. Is it fair that he's the one who was driving a little drunk and hit a girl and almost killed her? And then that set his career off. You just hear that blurb and it's who the fuck does this guy think he is? Well, you'll find out, okay? But only read this series if you like it really dark and you like a lot of those kinks that I said, because it gets crazy. But this series is so addictive that I've read all of them but the last one, because I don't want them to be done. But I should, because she has other books out too. But yeah, this one has lots of kinks in it. This one's definitely on the darker side. Tread lightly if you dive into that one. Now we'll end on kind of a fun one. Well, not kind of. I think it is fun. And I think this author, she makes no bones about what she does. She writes body positivity, sex positivity. She writes all the kinks, and they're in a fun and sexy way. And so the last one I want to mention is Trick Shot by Kayla Gross. And this is a part of a series she did that was of novellas, of spicy novellas. And this one is an MMF Christmas novella. So yes, it's Christmassy, but it's also a snowed-in romance. And in this one, we have Leo McKnight, an identical twin to a famous hockey player, finds himself caught in a case of mistaken identity on Christmas Eve. When Leo unexpectedly bumps into the captivating Riley at the airport, he's both amused and intrigued by her assumption that he's his renowned brother. Embracing his mischievous side, Leo decides to play along, relishing in their flirty banter and clever exchanges. But as fate would have it, their flight gets canceled, and Leo seizes the opportunity to spend more time with Riley. With a devilish glint in his eye, he invites her to spend the night in his penthouse with an intriguing woman, his best friend Jace, and a whole night of possibilities ahead of them. Leo has all the ingredients for what promises to be a memorable Christmas. So what this is, too, to be clear, is that Jace and Leo, they are kind of in like a open situation. Like they sometimes fuck each other, they live together, but they've never been like in a committed thing. So they have like shared people before, and there are a lot of fun kinky games that happen in this one. There are things involving Christmas bulbs that you should never try yourself. There is I think there's even some pegging in this one. Some bondage in here, and some spanking. So my review says this was spicy and fun. Ain't nothing bad here. It'll get the job done and make you blush to boot. That is how I reviewed this, okay? So take that from me. But this one has a lot of fun things. Lots of consent, lots of good times together. It was a great story overall. I had a wonderful time with it. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you check the links down below if you want to buy any of these, and check out my playlist if you want to watch some more taboo or oddly specific rec videos. I have literal hundreds, you guys. I have hundreds of rec videos. So if there's anything you're looking for, I probably have it somewhere. If you would like to suggest a video or a topic yourself, you can use the link in my description to suggest either a book or suggest a video to me. I would love to have that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and your support, and we'll see you next time.